Welcome back to the Helium 10 TikTok training. My name is Bradley and I'm joined by
Vincent.
And we are going to talk now about how to grow your TikTok shop. In previous modules, we talked about what you need to get ready, how to apply, how to even register to be on TikTok shop. Then we talked about how to import products or look for new product opportunities. So let's just say now you've got products in your TikTok shop. That does not guarantee you sales. There are still steps that you need to take to get eyeballs on your TikTok shop products. So let's talk best practices, Vincent.
Yes. This is actually one of my favorite things to talk about because typically this is the most scary for merchants again. Because on TikTok, again, you can do it, but it's not encouraged, where as you start to put out shoppable content, and namely the videos, that's scary for people, right? We're used to still product descriptions, these beautiful imagery, but this one's like video. And so usually what we say is, one, everyone breathe easy. Something I've noticed is that, and TikTok advocates for this as well, is that when you're starting to create shoppable videos, it's not about high production value. It's actually with TikTok, and I think the way the app has grown its audience, it's all about being authentic, relatable, and bonus points if you can like relate to a community of some sort. And those are the videos that do well and start to trend, and with that get more sales. So if you look up some of our best performing videos, it's typically looks like they almost just started recording at random, which is really great though. I want everyone to take that ethos in there. But beyond that, so with shoppable videos, it's one of the leading ways in which TikTok shops pushing the boundaries of entertainment and commerce. Again, it's social commerce, right? And just to define that, a shoppable video is a short video that you post to TikTok that just has a product link or product links to your shop. With that, I wanted to show everyone some tips and tricks to make this even less scary. So with that, as we are looking again at being in your operational hub, seller center of TikTok shop, on the left-hand side, if you guys actually click through to live in video and go to shoppable video, there's one tab I want you guys to look for where there's lots of resources, lots of things you can educate yourself on. But one, go to Get Inspired. I think this is a really great spot where you can kind of see it starts to auto segment you to shops like yours, again, looking at the categories that you have products in. And this is where you actually start to see other shoppable videos that are doing well.
I've never seen this section. Another new section that he's introducing me to that I haven't been paying attention to.
And this one I love, where I actually encourage merchants, if you can, to go here like at least once a day. TikTok is big about dog fooding. So looking at the products that you're selling. And I think,
hold on. It's big about what?
Dog fooding.
I have not heard that phrase. Please enlighten me. What does that mean?
Yeah. So we're big on dog fooding, where it's basically like eating your own dog food, I think is the colloquial term. And with that, it's kind of like using the products that you sell, using the software that you sell. But even with that, I encourage everyone, if you're selling on TikTok shop, that you frankly should have a TikTok. You should be scrolling through, looking through what's trending. And I love this because rather than being on your app, and I think messing up your own personal algorithm is something to keep in mind, this will feed you videos about stores very similar to yours. So it already focuses the lens on what you should be paying attention to. And you can just start to watch videos. And I think with that, there's just ingenious ways that people create shoppable videos that you might not have thought of. Like this one is obviously more of a product demo showing how it works. There's ways where you're seeing more of someone advocating for a product. So a lot of different ways where you can almost just take down bullet notes of, oh, this is another way I can create a video that'll make it easier. You can have like the approach that you're going to take and almost just start to skeleton out a content schedule because posting content consistently is obviously going to be one of the best ways to generate sales and grow your sales. But beyond inspiration, the thing I love when you're hanging out on the shoppable videos tab is if you go to the third one for creating content, for some reason, one that many merchants just aren't aware of, I think because it's buried in here, is on the third tab for create content, we actually give, for those that are really just starting off and nervous, video templates, where if you go in here and start to click on use a template, it'll guide you through what you need to actually just insert it into something and make it do well. Where looking at the template on screen, you'll see that you'll need about 11 video clips of your product that you want to highlight. And then with that, you're able to just basically insert it into a pre-made video, and you kind of get through the play on the left here, what it's going to look like. So this is something I really encourage if someone is truly terrified of just clicking record on their phone and experimenting. One, I say don't be scared. It's always fun. That TikTok is fun. Everyone remember that. But if you're like that and you're like me, I've used this, you can use these templates to help you out with some of your initial videos.
Now, is there any kind of like stat or figure you can do to like help quantify to our listeners out there the importance of these videos? You know, like I think sometimes we might, you know, be used to Instagram, you know, promoting our product on Instagram or using Amazon posts, which, you know, 1 out of every 100 people or so, you know, might actually click on, which is great. You know, it adds people to our store. But what are some numbers on TikTok for these shoppable videos?
It's a great question. Yeah, because I often get this on the inverse where people are like, well, I noticed that I can create a video with just slides. Why don't I do that? Shoppable video, I really advocate for it. Again, we have so many tools to make it easier. But I think the thing that drives it home is that if you create a shoppable video, 3 out of 5 people are actually more likely to click through on the product that's linked in it. And with that, it leads them to your store as well. So it's not just the one product that's catching their eye. It gets them to your virtual storefront on TikTok Shop. So extremely powerful and one of the foundational ways to really grow yourself on TikTok Shop. So highly encourage it. Almost require. I require it.
I love it. I love it. Now, we're going to talk in the next module, I think, actually about, you know, connecting with creators and influencers out there. But, you know, when we get to there, which is a very important part, that's actually, I kind of skipped to that section with my TikTok Shop. I was doing that first before doing my own videos. We're going to learn that, hey, most, if not all the time, you've got to give like a commission to the creators. But for my own videos, I can create 100 videos and it can generate, you know, 10,000 sales. There's no extra commission going anywhere other than what I would normally pay TikTok Shop anyway. So
exactly,
it's better to actually get sales. Hopefully one of your own videos goes viral, which is completely free, as opposed to having to pay somebody 5, 10, 15% for their product.
Exactly.
For their video. Yeah.
And I think the last thing I'll end with too is I always advocate that TikTok Shop, TikTok itself is a numbers game. You can't really plan virality. And so I'm big on explore all of the templates that we highlighted, watch all of the other inspirational videos that were highlighted, try to mirror them or come up with your own take on something that could do well, because you really should just be posting consistently. And don't be scared if something doesn't do well. Sometimes that's just the name of the game. But thankfully, that's why we have so much inspiration and templates for you to keep trying and figure out what's working with your niche.
Now, I know there's like no one size fits all. It's different strokes for different folks. But in your experience, you talked about, you know, doing things frequently. Is there a rule of thumb where, like, I know it's not one video per month or something. That's not going to set yourself up for success. But for successful TikTok Shop brands, like what kind of cadence they have with how many videos they do per product, or is it per store?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's no magic formula, but what we've seen is like at least at a bare minimum, once a week is consistent. But we've had brands that post up to like 3 videos a day, really because their emphasis, it's not so much how do I keep my community engaged? How do I make sure people are recognizing me as a brand? But their game is how do I catch new eyeballs to buy from my shop? So I would advocate for like at least 3 videos a day if possible. And that's what's great, again, going back to the beginning of this module, it doesn't have to be a high production value. It's authentic. I've seen videos where it was I forget the brand name, unfortunately, but it was a hair curling tool of some sort. They started recording right in their warehouse, just packing boxes. And I think they did this live. And just talking about it and showing the product going into the shipping box and sending it out to whoever's excited to receive the package, people were actually shopping while they did that. And those are the things that you can do that are really easy, right? If you're just in your office, you're talking about the product, how it was created, how to use it. There's so many ways to approach this. So just post nonstop, but 3 times a day, once a week at least.
I think a lot of people might be worried about that. Like, oh, I got to have some Hollywood production. Like here, we're obviously in our studio here at our office, and you flew out here. We've got fancy lighting. We've got camera guys with headphones and fancy microphones. You do not need to do that for TikTok Shop. You can just do it with your camera phone and, you know, of course, better, decent lighting is always going to be a plus, but it's not like you have to have expensive, fancy things in order to go viral. Sometimes actually some of the videos I see go viral more than others are the more organic ones where it doesn't look very professional. So sometimes being too professional in some situations could take away from how viral you go or how much you connect with customers. So it's really important. I need to listen to myself right now to start making videos yourself as a brand to get your product out there. Because once it gets out there, even if like a video doesn't go viral per se, what happens is, in my experience, not from my own videos, but even having other influencers make videos of my product, other people other creators and influencers start to see these videos, and they will even post about your product without even having a sample of it. So it is a numbers game. To get noticed by these individuals, you have to put the content out there. So here we talk about making our own videos for our own products. Let's talk in the next module about working with creators and how you can get them to push your products. We'll see you in the next module.